cozy place.
Both comments call attention to her comparatively lower socioeconomic status. He is clearly embarrassed to be confronted with the way the other half lives. Bill changes the subject awkwardly and fittingly by saying,
"Do you suppose we should talk about money?"
Though they decide on monetary terms, the terms of their sexual arrangement are never spelled out, with Domino saying,
"How about you just leave it up to me?"
More importantly, those acts are never fulfilled, as Alice calls in the nick of time to make Bill feel guilty. However, Bill still insists on paying Domino for services not rendered, and he places a small wad of cash into her hand with a smile. In this moment, sex is just the window dressing for the greater power dynamic at play. The interaction points to the film's message that the transactional nature of prostitution is perhaps the fundamental building block of society. Even if you're not an actual sex worker, chances are you're still for sale.
$100?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Well, okay. How about $200?
$200 over the rental price.
Domino and Mandy are hardly the only people selling themselves to the wealthy. Bill makes house calls for his rich clients, while his piano-playing friend is driven to mysterious locations and blindfolded during gigs for the wealthy.
Yeah, well, you gotta go where the work is.
Meanwhile, Bill uses the money he makes treating rich people to act super rich himself.
Could you just put it on the bill, please?
Indeed, Bill seems to relish in his own opportunities to lord his money over those less powerful than him, as when he tears this $100 bill in half to bribe the cab driver to wait for him. The message is clear: we're all selling ourselves to somebody. This is particularly true for women, who must meticulously present themselves in ways that cater to the men around them. For Alice, her central job as a wife is to look good. This is suggested when we watch Bill at his job, going through his day of seeing patients, and cut back to Alice doing her job, getting ready, making sure she smells and looks perfect. In front of her, Helena also gets ready, suggesting that she is being groomed to be a hot ticket item, just like her mom. Creator even attributes significance to Helena's homework that Alice is helping with, in which Helena learns to calculate which boy has more money than the other.
All right, we have Joe. Joe has $2.50, and Mike has $1.75. Joe has how much more money than Mike?
Alice seems to be aware of what her role is, and she plays it willingly. But every so often, there are cracks in the veneer. When she and Bill have sex early on, she stares at herself in the mirror with a look that quickly turns from bemused to turned on to resignment. She sees herself for what she is, a hired woman. To emphasize that point, the film juxtaposes Alice with the various sex workers in the film. As previously mentioned, she, Mandy, Domino, and the mysterious naked woman are redheads. She and Mandy both have a fondness for drugs, and there's this stuffed tiger that links Alice to Domino. Then, of course, there's the famous final line where Alice goes,
"There is something very important that we need to do as soon as possible."
What's that?
And since this is YouTube, you gotta use your imagination. This moment is Kubrick's final curveball, suggesting that the entire contents of this film, the orgy, the dead girl, the disappeared piano player, all of it,
I would argue
amounted
that because
to
it's
nothing
YouTube,
more than some
shouldn't
kind of
have to use
kinky
your
foreplay for this couple. They haven't learned anything from their escapade, it's merely aroused them. Alice's glasses are on outside the house for the first time, which you could read as proof she's seeing clearly and not bumping into things. But this line makes us think that Kubrick is saying that they're doomed to repeat the same petty jealousies again and again, while potentially spending beyond their means. You know, the American dream. This also connects to the title of the film, which evokes a sense of enlightened false consciousness. We may know that we're being screwed over and controlled by the wealthy and powerful, but at least it's Christmas and we can play with our toys, both commercial and sexual. So our eyes are firmly, deliberately shut because that's the only way to tolerate this world. It's not cheerful. In conclusion, Eyes Wide Shut is not a movie just about sex. It's about dreams, desire, and power, and particularly the power that comes with having a ton of cash to burn on one night out alone in New York City. But what do you think? Is the film a deeper commentary about class in the heavily stratified world of New York City? Or is the famously perverse Kubrick just messing with us? For an even deeper breakdown on this film or over 70 others, don't forget to check out our movie podcast Show Me the Meaning on our Wise Cast channel or on a variety of podcast platforms. Links are in the description. Thanks to all our patrons who support us, and be sure to hit that subscribe button. And thanks for watching, guys. Peace. What's up, guys? Jared again. It would be the understatement of the century to say that technology has profoundly affected our lives. But instead of beating a dead horse talking about fake news, Twitter making us angry narcissists, or Instagram branding our psyches with FOMO, let's talk about something much more fun. Drill dicks. While we're all aware of how technology has shaped the world, we often spend less time thinking about its relationship to our bodies. Luckily for us, there's an entire microgenre of horror that asks this precise question: body horror. Body horror films focus on the mutilation, violation, and mutation of the human body. A particular tradition of body horror focused on technology ravaging the body, often raising deep questions about what it means to be human in a technological society. We like to think that we're living in a very unique time in history where advances in technology are changing our social landscape quicker than we can grasp. But as body horror can help us understand, that's always been the case. So to put things into perspective, let's analyze some classics of body horror in this Wisecrack edition on the end of humanity. And spoilers ahead for some amazing 80s films that I recommend everybody see ASAP. Part 1. One of the most enduring films of the body horror genre is undoubtedly Katsuhiro Otomo's Akira, the iconic anime feature based on the 6-volume manga. But before we can understand its particular relevance to body horror's relationship to technology, we have to understand the broader context of Japanese cinema after World War II. When we talk about technology changing humanity, Japan is a particularly illustrative example. The destruction of Hiroshima and Nagasaki has been explored by their national cinema in a number of ways. On one level, films like Shohei Imamura's